That's done. Go on to here. Should be live now. Let's check out the channel. Or maybe not. Or maybe it's not. Should be on. It says, oh, 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 oh. There, wait. That should be there. Come on. Audio checking. I think I'm actually a little loud. I'm gonna turn my voice a little back down. Let's do it through I'm gonna lower it on my mic input side. Sound settings, input, microphone, Corsair, properties. Just a little bit lower. Like 90-ish. 80? 85. Because I have my mic all the way at max because for some reason it doesn't pick up my voice that well. Like, it's reading my input as like 40% of max, so I guess the risk of me blowing out my mic is never, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna check audio one last time. Please. Okay, yeah. I've got audio set just like I like it, I hope. So now I'll just leave chat on the phone or over there. Like, I have two screens that are showing chat right now. That should be fine. I don't think I need performance mode or anything for when I stream this. Like, I doubt it's running that clunkily. Adjust this. I don't want any feedback from like a fan or anything. Good morning. What? Oh, Pacific time. It's 2 p.m. already? Whoops. I thought it was still like 10 in the morning or something. What have I been doing today? Okay, we had just looked at the wall. I wanted to go to the church next. I'm pretty sure. Or we can look for the cryptozoologist. That's not an area to go, right? Yeah, we have to go back this way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Disco Elysium is not a choppy, hard-to-run game. Oh. Yeah, I'd imagine. The last time it was probably used was for an execution. Oh! I forgot he'd be right here. Well, let's look at these. Look at the area first. Whoop.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
Wait, whoa, why is that?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
How high is my inlet? You know, when I wrote spoilers are safe for the stream, Inland Empire is a spoiler. Volition's just low right now, that's fine. You know what, wait, I can increase my Can I look at it yet? No, I can't. There is important evidence in that buoy. But, wow, I can't believe Inland Empire is just like, hey, remember that that's there. Ignition? Oh, he's trying to light a campfire? It's raining and you're... Keep going at it, buddy. Buddy. I have a lot of money now. I should buy things. I need to buy the boombox. Hello, your wife is looking for you, sir.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
He sounds a lot grumpier than I thought he would.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Forgot you just have his name title right at the beginning.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist?
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to come back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Maybe I should have come here before I learned what happened. I've got a lot of things done. I just kind of want to look to her. What's honor 2? What did I do that was honorable? Hadia Dubois. I am a wow, I got 5 superstar? I don't know when I got superstar cop lines. Like, the scariest thing is when you get points in something. Like, look, I got 1 fascist now. I was 0 last time, wasn't I? What did I say? Well, usually with fascists, it's as soon as you say something of like, hey, you're not from here, are you? Even, like, innocently is like, why do you care? You know, like... But no, yeah, I'm mostly Central Ultralib cop right now. Those are the options that I find funnier and more pleasant to me. Like, just the hustle is funny to me. Yeah, that was me. I broke it with my sick-ass car driving skills. But it's fixed now. You can get back to your wife.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? But there was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
That there's sorry cop, but I mean, like, I want to explain. This is probably Superstar Cop. No, see, I jumped over the canal in my motor carriage, tearing through that butter sign, which then fell into the canal, blocking the gate. I used the pawn shop itself, like that roof, as a launch ramp.
Why?
He spreads his arms. Why? I love these options for this one. Because I needed to drive into the ocean, because I'm insane. It was an experiment to gauge the aerial performance of the Capri 40. I'm insane.
Insane? Yes, okay, good. But you said the water lock is fixed now. So we can go back.
He quickly comes to terms with my insanity because he's literally a cryptozoologist.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Oh, that audio played wrong. You can picture Kim rolling his eyes right now. Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep. Okay, yeah, it just didn't play the first half. And then he said, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds. What makes it so difficult to find? I mean, did Lena not tell us that it looks like the reeds?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Literally already. I actually knew a guy in high school, I think, that bred and took care of, like, stick bugs as a hobby. They were like his little pets. He had a whole bunch of them.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case.
What do you mean specialized techniques?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
How big do you think he is? You think he'll fit in those little nets?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant.
Well, then why?
One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm.
Well, I'm not
So,
really. I'm a little tiny, okay? Like, especially my arms are not that long, I think. Like, So... I mean, that would fit in the nets he's laying out, but, I mean... They're not big enough.
Seems puny, to be honest.
Yeah, thanks, coach. Why specifically a stick bug? Aren't there a lot more, you know, cooler things that you'd be looking out for? Something personal about this one?
typical rookie assumptions. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for.
No, yeah, I realize that they're complex, but...
Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
So, it's just kind of a personal preference. There's no specific reason for him.
Would be glory itself.
Like, it can't be the only cryptid in the area, right? Oh, you know what? Most towns and famous cities and stuff probably only keep like one or two. Like Sasquatches or Chupacabras to them. So I guess the Phasmid's the only local. Because it's just like, yeah, of course bugs are cool. They're freaking aliens. Like, a lot of them function so differently from what you'd expect.
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's
didn't
ever
answer
captured
that.
a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So literally no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
He says brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Your wife had said there was a sighting of it. She had like a newspaper clipping?
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
I mean, yeah, but you were saying that it would blend into this environment pretty easily in the first place. It just wouldn't be as healthy, I guess is his hypothesis there. Maybe the Phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Damn it. So, like...
Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
That's clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Tell me more about the traps you've been setting up around here.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly. so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Oh, she's the one that made him, not you.
Yes,
With pride. He likes his wife. So how do they work?
simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait again? Locusts?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course.
Yeah.
But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Well, why would you be stocking all of your traps with just a singular type of bait then if you're not 100% positive on... You should be putting out several different types of bait.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
That could have been perception hearing as well.
A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Carnivorous stick insect seems really unlikely, though.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also
Yeah, there you go.
included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Well, wait, but the locusts are just gonna eat it. You need to bait different traps entirely with different baits, not all of it in one. What are you gonna do if you just keep coming back and there's nothing in them?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
I feel like the delivery of that line should have been more like sassy. Like, you know, we have been thinking about this. This is our job. If he's supposed to be super defensive about it. So wait, he's literally going like, well, because the plant traps didn't work, it's got to be bugs instead. I forgot about that detail. Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
I want to ask him this. It's the second part of the question that I don't like, but I kind of just want to ask him this. Why not be a zoologist? And I would end it there. He's probably just going to get mad at me, though.
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
No, I don't. It's just that, like, how else would you want me to refer to something that's not a cryptid? Like, just non-cryptid animals? That would imply that I'm saying they're real animals.
Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
I mean, I think, isn't there a precedent for somebody chasing after, like, Bigfoot actually finding something significant otherwise?
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
You know, surprises are mostly miserable.
Agreed. Yet there is always a chance, albeit a small one, of
That's
a
a good
truly
outlook.
good surprise. One simply needs to look at the history of science. Serendipities abound.
Yeah, but there's a lot of suffering and death in there, too. So, have you ever found anything truly surprising?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
So what kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
Like chasing a rumor mill. Almost like you're a mix of like a scientist and like paparazzi. Thanks for explaining.
Yes?
I don't think I need to hit this. I do feel like I should tell you that your wife seemed pretty eager for you to return home.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. but I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know this was so important to her. She just seemed to want you back home as well.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She didn't tell me anything like that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid
That's
together.
how they got married.
I can't abandon course
Personally.
now.
And that's the real answer to why the phasmid specifically.
His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigors of the coast.
Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, and come back to check him?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this.
We could do that for you. I mean, we're just wandering around out here.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Chaos is my method. I am its scion. I want this one. I mean, number 1 is kind of boring. I think I hit 1 last time.
Well, be that as it may, I'd really appreciate the help.
Okay, first things first. Can you tell me where they all are?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near.
Oh, can I do... How did I get 2 spam bots at the same time? Blah, da, blah, da, blah. Blah, da, blah. Ban. I mean, does banning a bot that's, like, spamming like that even do anything?
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
So, wait, because I mean, it's gonna write it down in my journal. 4 areas, 1 is to the south, by the houses. Yeah, I walked by it.
The 3rd is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
What? It's fun.
Even relative to examining a week-old corpse, I'm not sure mucking about in the reeds qualifies as fun. But have it your way, detective.
Oh, I'll let you dig around in a car later or something, Kim.
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
What do you want me to do if it actually has one in the trap?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
And if I see it walking around in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Did you hear that? Pheromones. You were right about the teenagers.
So it really was the phasmid that made the teenagers make out. Electrochem is forcing me to say that?
Oh, I doubt there is any connection there. Anyway, these pheromones will attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Should last you about a week.
Lay it on me thick.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Alright, let's get to it.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
I'll get going then. Yeah. Let's talk to... Well, wait. Let's turn this on. Talk cool.
Hello,
Computer's getting low.
I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean,
God.
officer.
Immediately.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
You don't like the outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
That's my crew. Sadly, I think I might be a drunk, or a degenerate, or both.
Dark times will do that to good men.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Is this yours?
My mug? Why would you think that?
I'm doing this option because I know. Let's pretend like I somehow have that sense thanks to Inland. I don't know, you just look like the kind of guy who would have these in his house, in a collection.
How do you mean? Forgive me, officer, but we've only just met.
Let's see.
He's trying not to look afraid, because that would be incriminating. Yet he is.
You're acting kind of suspicious. Did I mention that this was found at the scene of the lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
If I find him... Yeah, small fine.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, it's... I've been having trouble at work lately. The Koikos are price dumping us out of competition.
There it is again, he's using...
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
So, how did you get into the trash container? I mean, I broke it open, but...
I
that was
know
after.
a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
Jeez, he just keeps mentioning people after people.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
Gary, did you also happen to put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged, into that container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Oh man, when you start a sentence like that. Officer, please let me explain is a famous one, and then it's not like that. It's another. That's a double whammy. Please do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, focus. No need to keep complaining. Just tell me what happened.
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence, huh?
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug
Yeah,
away,
already
and,
caught you.
well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
He remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
Sure.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but
Hey,
where?
Hey, what was that sound, man? How much perception do you need for... Oh, wow.
What sound?
Don't fuck around, man. I think I know what you're talking... I think you know exactly what I mean.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay.
You wouldn't have to know anything about the armor that was on the victim's body when he got lynched, did you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
What if I...
What sound? Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though.
Every day, the
let's
wind
see.
shifts the
Alright,
reeds
let's
and
take out more
whatever was
questions.
left.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
Let's start from the beginning again, though. Well, just start from the beginning, because I skipped some things just to go right to that. Do you know anything about the hanging?
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
And why were you so surprised to see my partner here?
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
The lieutenant's a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes, of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
So, you're a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Hey Gary, so you were talking about you were living near the crime scene. You live in an apartment here?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Have you found your door open lately?
In my home. Yes. When I was going to... How did you know?
Nothing, just wanted to ask if your door's been unlocked lately. Now I have.
Is this about the Union? Did the big man open the door?
I mean, I did.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, no, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he just doesn't seem to like you.
I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night. About some theories. Stupid. Shouldn't have run my mouth loud like that. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He
Kim
clearly
liked that.
liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
Composure, huh? It's not a red check. I want to wear the armor.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something underneath?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you like high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Why did you really put the clothes in that trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here.
Oh, that makes it okay, dude.
Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Why did you even lie in the first place?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
You're gonna give that to me now, right?
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don it and live.
So do you know who killed him?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word.
Oh.
I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth
That's
on
what
this
he
subject
did.
anymore.
I never connected that dot. So obviously one night when he was drunk, he was just like, well, obviously we know Everard did him in or something. And they didn't like him saying that. Like, the opening of the door was actually just part of Everard covering his ass. Of telling Gary, shut the hell up. So we done?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
That's done and done. Thank you for your cooperation. We got it. Less empathy. It's gonna be on the inside of this anyway, so I can wear it. Way better than just having a logic thing. In fact, do I have anything that might increase empathy otherwise? Let's put this up here with the other shirts. I don't think I have anything for empathy. Like, what clothes would give empathy? Oh. Sure. We'll compensate. Although I really liked Esprit and Shivers, but Shivers is high enough. I don't want to be, like, nearly negative empathy, because we're only at 2.
The white ceramic cuirass hugs your torso, shielding your vitals without adding much bulk to your form. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
I will be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you.
I could probably sell it.
Certainly, but you may want to hold on to the armor you have for long enough to properly analyze it, figure out its vulnerabilities.
This was getting some of the armor right, yeah. Vulnerabilities.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it, observe its properties, see if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Spoiler alert, Half-Life. But I mean, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, well... Oh, savoir-faire goes down. Yeah, that's fine, though. Almost got my thought cabinet full. I'm not getting too many thoughts because I'm kind of going through the game a little faster than I originally was. But I think that's fine. Are there any checks right now that I really wanted to go back and try and do? Oh, there is. Rhetoric. Do I have anything for rhetoric? I don't think I do. That's negative rhetoric. Nope. Well. Let's go work on the traps. What is the hat I'm wearing again? It's the fallen one, but what does it do? Logic, but less perception. Okay. So, first one's gonna be up by the boat houses west of the fell. Well, this is the fell building right here. Oh, I thought I had my phone on silence. Whoops. There we go. Right. Oof. We gotta do that. I think I can just head up north first. And then, like, west-ish.
Winter, slow
it's
to
snowing.
let go of Rivershore. Flecks some more wet snow from above.
Look around.
The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the rust-colored sewage runoff. And to think, it seemed as though it were already spring.
How does it feel?
The melting snow seeps through your thin clothes. Grandmothers don't let their grandchildren out dressed so lightly in this weather. At least your hair is protected from getting wet and sticking together. You look around.
What's in the west?
More winding coastlines lined with abandoned buildings. Crumbling piers, salt water lapping at their dark piles. Grey and red forgotten city blocks. What remains of the pre-revolutionary effort to gentrify the coast.
And beyond that?
The waters turn black. Coal City in the shadow of San Martin. A boom town. Back when coal extracted from countless shafts near the city was needed to power Revachol. No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These days, only the weakest remain in Coal City. Their hopes of getting rich linger in the defunct shafts under their feet.
Yeah, it's supposed to be even worse than Jamrock, is Coal City. And now we have an answer of why. Hydropower and gas? Petroleum, yeah.
Below the old mines, L'Océan Municipal, Revachol's underground cemetery. Le Petit Rat braved the underground passageways. Le Royaume.
Les Petits Rats?
Children under 14, they go underground looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums and for fabled relics. Their parents let them. They go deeper.
Deeper.
After rubies, Melchiorite, lapis lazuli, plundered from Safle and Seol during the time of the suzerain. In the burial chambers of the kings, Grand Old Philip, Guillaume II, and even in the mausoleum of Philip the Opulent. 2 kilometers underground, in a winding shaft along whose walls mirrors have been placed, so that daylight may eternally fall upon the richest of all the kings.
Yo, that's cool, like, burial design. Mirrors that will take sunlight all the way down.
The mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special, purest of the pure magenta cocaine, favored by Revacholian royalty.
Oh yeah, for deep.
Did someone say untold quantities of cocaine? Drop everything immediately and go looking for this hoard.
Thought you weren't listening for a while, Electrochem.
How can it be pure if it's magenta?
How can it be pure if it's magenta?
Snow falls, and there is no answer. Some things are not for mortals to know. Few Petits Rats return from the shafts. Even fewer find what they're looking for. A small child steps out of the black tunnel with silver trinkets in her pockets. All around her, white snow on the extinguished coke furnaces and on the weather-worn shacks where fathers beat their sons after drinking. The snow melts on your fingers, turning to water.
In the east.
The canal you crossed to get here and beyond it. Martinez proper, the district the police forgot to police. There is laughter, lights, attempts at entrepreneurial activity, cynicism. Someone is scraping snow off their windshield at the roundabout, in the midst of which a statue of Philip III serves as a destination for grade school field trips and a fine perch for winter birds.
Field trips to the destroyed statue? Is that all?
Like all monuments, it's also a warning. 6-story ruins on the south side of the roundabout cast a long shadow over the profligate king.
Oh, and you don't notice that too, because when you're walking around it, that's where your camera is. 6-story high apartment buildings, I'm assuming. Because the commercial district is across.
A fenced-off yard. There's a truck belonging to a logistics company parked next to the gate. Bright light from a building behind the fence reflects off its hood.
The north.
The abandoned church, one of 2 remaining stave churches, which were collectively called Les Sept Sœurs. The other 6 sisters were destroyed during the Revolution.
Further?
A serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the Martinez Inlet. Unfortunates on the run from the law, from themselves, sometimes hide out on nearby islets. Little dots in the ocean that are occasionally submerged when the tide is high and the weather foul.
Huh. Again, Shiver's giving a little spoiler. People that might be hiding from the law on little islands to the north, huh? And on those islands?
The remains of a camp on a jagged piece
Yeah.
of rock, a tent, old dishes and cutlery, long since abandoned. A hermit crab scuttles among the debris, looking for a new shell. Further out, the lights burn bright on Resurrection, way beyond Martinez, a popular spa destination for ample-bodied Ozon kids with equally ample pockets.
And on the other side?
Then there's Ozon, but the snow falls too thick. You cannot see that far.
Before that?
The Bay of Revachol, vastness, great depth,
Right here.
over 1,200 meters at its deepest. Water, air brinier than here. It is crisscrossed by huge cargo ships bearing company logos. Wild pines, Zam, Morian, and at the farthest reaches of the Bay of Revachol, the shadow of the Coalition warship, Archer, on perpetual patrol duty, ready to unleash artillery fire if you were to rise up against the market. You shudder.
Wow, there's like a UN warship out there. Like always watching over Revachol since it's such like a dangerous place. Well, because so much history happened. Too much history. In the south. That's Jamrock, right?
The raised motorway, 881,
Jamrock.
separating Martinez from Jamrock. Vehicles whoosh past one another day and night, while those who reside in the labyrinthine alleyways beneath the motorway attempt to carry on with their lives in the snow and the slush. And south of the 881 is the Pox.
The Pox, the really bad part of town.
Was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation for the patients of the old military hospital. In the 20s, it was used as a quarantine center during a measles outbreak that killed many children. Most everyone has avoided the hospital and surrounding park ever since. The Pox is completely wild now. Evergreen thickets covered in snow and industrial dust. Feral dogs and even wolves roaming in packs. The police try to keep the deepest corners cordoned off.
It's literally just like a ghost town part of the city. But still.
Heavy drug users do slip through and hole up in the old military hospital, hoping to find something to get high on among the hastily abandoned supplies, or just to overdose in peace.
There's probably a bunch of bodies there. Further south?
A line of motor garages with armored carapaces hunched in the cold. A mechanic is hard at work, patching up bullet holes in the side of a Capri 40. These are the garages of Precinct 41. Snow settles on the roof of the repurposed silk mill. It serves as your station. Shivering RCM personnel hurry in and out of the main entrance.
Yeah, we're down one more of those cars now.
Around you, the snow continues to fall. To the west, the ocean swells.
No, wait, stay there. That was home. I want to hear more about home.
The stairs descend to central Jamrock. A man named Cooklove has a snow-covered stall there in the market across the bridge. He sells kebab infested with fly larvae to your colleagues who believe eating it will make them immune to food poisoning. Snow falls on the utility district, the library, the florist, the Sarah Mauritian restaurant that offers homemade wine, and also on the brothels and drug dens, and the chop shops of the Zemlyaki. All of this built around a lake that formed in a meteorite strike.
Whoa.
At the center of this lake, there is a little ship. There are lights at the bottom of its hull. They are lights directed toward the seafloor, looking for something, like whiskers.
For what?
A chill comes over you, crawling down your back. The sand under your feet is wet. Somewhere in the south, tarpaulin flap in the wind.
I mean, the answer's probably squid. You only turn on floodlights when you're fishing for squid, I think. Above me.
More Coalition aerostatics. Occasionally,
Can never get away
lights
from them.
flash as they maneuver through the falling snow. One large airship carries crates in its belly.
What's under my feet?
Layer upon layer of sand, poisoned with industrial runoff. The storm drainage, hidden bunkers. Rats scuttle.
Tell me a secret of the sands, Wind.
Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It would keep you warm. You would probably never happen across it. But who knows?
Brush off the snow. Shiver.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up.
I think it did. I'm like really zoomed in now. Under a pipe in the boardwalk. I'll probably never find it. I mean, isn't that over here? No, I guess not. Yeah, I am way. Oh, there we go. Now I can zoom out. Can I not go more north here? No. Kick drum balls. These come from somewhere on the ice. Very large buildings. This is the church, isn't it? Yeah. The music's coming from over there. Anyway, let's go looking for the traps. Take care of that first. The door.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service what?
Probably something that is no longer there.
You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Huh, shut tight. I wonder how I can get in there.
We don't get in there.
What do you mean? We get into, like, everything.
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
Stop
No,
clicking
no.
on everything.
We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knew that's a part of our MO.
But that's what I do. That's what we are, man. We open doors.
Yeah, I understand you. I like opening doors as much as the next guy. But this one is simply beyond repair, and we don't have the resources needed to open it.
We could get the resources, though.
Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
A rueful smile. He wants to get in there, too. That's probably where she gets her fuel. She said she ripped it from a cop car, but it's like doubt. Oh wait, no, I know a cop car she probably could have gotten her fuel from. Oh, sure. Rhetoric! I needed rhetoric. However, that's gonna take the armor spot. so maybe not just yet. Where was I keeping pants? Jackets, shoes, hats, glove, glasses. That's one. There's another jacket there. So, white polo shirt for Reddit. Got it. Because I do want to try and open the container. There's some traps. It's the dead man.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before.
You can actually see
Same
this
mesh, same wiring.
little tiny particle effects for the locusts.
The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze. Snow specks the stalks. Most of it melts quickly. The reeds seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Yeah, these two will be... Let's go back to the canal.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
Come on, Kim. You don't have to enjoy being right. We're helping him out in the end.
I meant no offense. Just...
You don't gotta be a jerk about it, Kim. I'm just more curious, how do you even make money off of this kind of a... Like, you obviously aren't. Unless you, like, trick people into, like... Well, you wouldn't see it as tricking people to support you, would you? A tie. Shiver's tie. Oh, it's the scarf. -2 to Fizz. I mean, Fizz, you can take the hit. You're fine. I like more shivers. Oh, it makes like pain threshold on Electrochem now my highest though. Yeah, let's keep our buddy Horrific Necktie on. Horrific Necktie gets us. Why did I just... That was a weird little bubble. Was that inland popping? Seems important somehow. Oh, can I not walk behind this? There we go.
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody? Exactly.
Why am I a seagull?
Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise.
And now?
Then their paradise became Shit City. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating
Yeah.
burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons.
Yeah.
No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done.
Yeah.
They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you.
Hold on, wait. Have I ever actually eaten a burger out of the trash?
You have. The body remembers.
Fucking right. Whatever it takes to survive, I am the seagull. Like, not a seagull, the seagull.
Own it. Steal hot dogs. Shit in the sand. Whatever it takes to keep going.
This feels like a Hobocop idea. What does that just randomly heal me just because I saw a bird? And I'm like, I understand you, bird. Seagulls are awesome. They sound so pretty, they look pretty, but man, they stanky. Oh, she stacked the rocks on the little wood pillar. Oh, I hear it. I hear them.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
Okay, why is it even here?
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here.
Be right back. Can I hit the button? Yeah. Okay. I should probably make a real be right back page, but I like using that stupid little thing. Let's click off this. Oh, let's actually do a quick save too.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
I said you should have a hat on at least.
So should you.
I have a hat.
You don't have to do anything.
I have a hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's a nice hat. You should wear a hat too.
Yeah, well, Look, man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
I'm worried.
Lots of feeling. Feel it up. Way up.
I can't believe you just told me to fuck the hat.
You're saying it really loud, but it's not coming out right. Maybe add more indignation.
I should just fuck my hat right now. Engage in sexual intercourse with a hat. Right here on the ice.
More.
Right on the ice.
More.
Wait, what? Puff your cheeks like I'm pouting? Give a little ice cop hat. Fuck. I can't even finish that phrase.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
She is shaken.
The lieutenant is watching the scene unfold before
He
his
doesn't
eyes,
even know. Is
unsure
that how you
how
see
to
me as a
react.
This would literally be me, like, so failing authority is just like you realize you have no authority and you're freaking out. And now it's just getting sad, because it's like, is that how the world sees you? So pathetic. A hat fucker.
The girl looks down,
Start crying!
slowly curling into a ball. The young woman has kept her eyes trained on her wires,
Start crying.
waiting for the sorry spectacle to end. But it's gone awful quiet up there. Then, the sound
Like,
of sobbing.
this is literally, it's not that random of a moment. It's this washed up sad cop being disrespected by a kid or something. And he just can't handle it. He just falls apart.
Looking up, she sees a grown man on the wrong
Wrong
side
of 40.
His face bloated from alcohol and God knows what else. Not so quietly, crying.
Not so quietly crying, so JoJo level crying, like AC/DC.
This isn't really about the hat, is it?
No.
You know, you're not the only one with issues. I self-medicate. Shit. Life's a horror,
Aw.
you know? Crying helps, though. Get it out
does.
your system. And then maybe we can talk. Okay? I'll be here.
Thanks, kid. And if you're ever struggling, that's what sad stories... Oh my god, Kim, wait. Wait, Kim, don't worry about it. The lieutenant now addresses you after looking away.
Do you want to talk about what just happened?
That's probably a good idea.
Normally, I'm opposed to discussing one's feelings, especially on duty. But I think this is an exceptional case.
Oh yeah, at the beginning he said he doesn't like talking about personal baggage.
So, what do you think happened?
I experienced a minor malfunction. I'm okay.
Glad to hear it was minor. Can you go on?
I can. Sorry, Kim. This is the last time I have a freak out. It's probably not the last time I have a freak out.
Then, let's go.
Wait, did I just get a thought? What did I... Oh, no.
The
Okay.
curious world. How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures. Pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away. Turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
All red checks were fails right now, weren't they? This was the thought that was going to change that. I forgot. I had no hope. I had no hope. Yeah, all red checks fail. There's something deep about this, though. It's impossible not to lose. The point is to keep going. A lot of things written around nowadays have that message, I feel. It's always a nice message. It's kind of dark where it's like, but you're taking the dark idea of failure is always inevitable and going, yeah, but fuck it. But fuck it, though.
So, like,
Fuck that.
seriously, What's eating you, man?
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing, and she wears thick black eyeliner. Most men wouldn't call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
Most, huh? What's her... Yeah, we talk?
I was wondering when you would come around. What's up?
I guess there's something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
Everyone's just reaching out. I get money if I say this, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Zero hireable talent in the city, zero. No wonder everyone's poor as potatoes. No money moving around, huh?
So the thing that's got you crying in front of strangers is rich people not having enough money?
Nah, that's probably not it, is it?
No, it sounds like you've just got chick issues.
You could be right, but I don't know for certain.
Well, think about... Anyway, was there something else?
What's your name?
A cell.
Estelle who? I'm not a young suitor. This is police business.
Okay, it's Burger.
A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's a real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
What's the device you got there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
Low quality, like mine. No. Honestly, this mic is... this headset's okay. It's a headset, so obviously... Like, I need to get a real mic later. And all the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose.
Uh-huh.
The wire leads to a contact microphone.
Contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Oh yeah, you touch it and you hear the inside. How does it work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where'd you get that mic?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
The Palaceum.
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Who's Arno?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Disco! Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a rec tape player in a completely trashed hostel room. Now, I'm gonna bet I'm at 5 on Superstar, right?
That's cool.
Really? That's not a Superstar cop line, huh? Alright. You're right, time has deserted me.
Sucks, man.
Uh,
Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
Actually, some non-mic questions.
Okay.
What are you even doing out here out in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what are you recording?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Where are your headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
Why?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
That sounds rough.
Everything checks out, sire.
What are these recordings for? Cracks? Footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Just not.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
Yeah, she's trying to make experimental music.
The girl is cold all of a sudden. Very cold.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She is on some kind of stimulant, amphetamine or methadone, and its effects are wearing off fast. She will begin to experience more and more valleys now, and fewer peaks.
Take this, you're cold.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Take my hat.
Thanks.
That's actually neat. It gives you whatever, gives her whatever hat I have. That's weird. So now I can't do the fallen thing, but that's interesting. I wanted to do that. I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Gave her a hat, too. My empathy is so low right now. You've been, like, one of the most comfortable people with, like, being questioned. Why?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
I'd like to be rich, too.
Good luck crossing that river on your police salary, then.
Yeah. He's gonna be dirt poor forever. But I got $1 out of that. So you've been in trouble with before? What kind of trouble?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
Can you explain the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13.
Oof.
In Forberg.
In Fulberg?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't even remember the most basic terms sometimes. Don't worry about it.
Forberg, not in Forberg. It's a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
Okay, yeah, I get that now. I don't need more. Why'd you have to move out so early?
My dad was a drunk.
Yeah.
Plus, I guess I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
You should use me as a warning example for what that'll do to you.
She nods very cautiously.
No more questions for now. Take care.
Okay, bye.
I got no hat now. Probably should have given her this. Is she actually wearing it now? I don't think so. No, but it's like she has it. Here we go.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Squeeze it.
Sorry, you barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
He had to deal with a bunch of them. He did juvie, right? Or something like that. He actually had to do a bunch.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
I love the moments when Kim does that, where he's just like, you go ahead. Do your thing. I'll be out here. I'll be doing something else. Here they are. Oh, my perception's high enough to notice. Distilled water.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead.
Egghead.
Egg!
I missed Egghead.
Together with a settled burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
You organize venues? How many?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
0. Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
No need, the place is pretty messed up.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Such as you guys.
Dopeheads!
Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The word!
And sadder yet, because the
love Egghead.
dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
What kind?
The spooky kind.
Spookiness is not No, I've already investigated the doomed commercial district. What do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
New task. Help ravers start nightclub. These guys.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks.
What's the status on the church? I haven't gone inside yet.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Okay, can I have the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
Shit. Yeah, fucking nope.
It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool.
Don't ruin the cool by overdoing it. Raise your hand in front of your face with minimum effort. It's gonna just... How...
Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye orb. In the looking ball. Man up. It's nothing. Pick the goddamn key up. Put it in your pocket and move on.
I'm agreeing with Pain Threshold. Fucking too old for this shit.
My bad.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah! Hi again. So, how are things going?
Who exactly are the people inside the church you wanted me to investigate?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen anybody in there, and yet you want police investigation?
Well, There's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone in the church?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Non-human means a predator.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
A crab man. A crab man?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Are you sure there was a crab man? Ambush behavior. Crab man, I understand.
Crab man!
I love you, Egg.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Oh, but there is logic, but there is. Can you tell me more about the machinery that was set up?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Jacked up to some snuff station?
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to it. Sick shit.
Yeah, the dice maker told us about that.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff. We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more.
So how are you sure they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
Damn it. Oh, I was actually close to getting that too. I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you. Sure. What?
You mentioned some kind of Ecclesiastes of the church. Who are the Ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
What?
You know, of Meteo. Concerning Meteo.
Oh, I have no encyclopedia here. Meteo?
Meteo, a country, on Muindi. On the Muindi Isla.
What is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And
they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
Doesn't sound like they would appreciate a dance club.
You're totally wrong about that.
The Pericanassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance!
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it. Egghead's just so into everything.
Love is hardcore!
Unity!
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass. Feels good.
understand.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place
That's
to
what that
be!
means. I understand. I was wrong.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for
He
your
wants
body
me
to
to still
start
dance.
moving.
Wanted to ask you about your equipment here.
Yes. What?
So you brought your own water.
Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even is running water.
It's distilled water.
Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
I hate to tell you, but it also reeks in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
I also smell ether. Why?
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No,
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent like laundry detergent.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. Unlike the girl outside, however, the boys' breathing is regular. Their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated, so they're not under the influence currently.
What's with all the Nosafed?
The what now?
Point to the bottle of nasal spray. The Nosafed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra. I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
You sound fine.
Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Can I have some?
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away.
Alright, enough.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
That's it.
As always,
Don't I have... Logic. Spiking. Jesus. I look like an idiot, but I mean, that's appropriate to dealing with these guys. Well, actually, let's see. Let's ask more about
So
other
you had a
things.
talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Skin shows through the holes in the Speed Freak's too large sweater. In front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry tools and parts.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
He runs his hand through his hair, which is combed back in mock seriousness. Continues to fiddle with some gears. Sign?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
So, Noid told me to ask you more about the machines?
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked-up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
What's wrong with the supernatural?
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it, though.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
So, you think the supernatural is real?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
See, the second thing is actually something that could be real, but I wouldn't know because I don't live in this world. Why is your name Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
So you mean we need to match our signs, I guess, is what he would say?
Yes, further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
We need to resonate better. He needs to trust me.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Waushi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets.
Hardcore!
There it is.
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. All-core! All-right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
I'm a little worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
Just answer the question. No, that would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't.
But there was a question?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Solve Egghead's puzzle. I don't remember the proper path.
The young man
This is hardcore.
Is it?
It's hardcore!
I don't know what to say to that.
Skibber D, skibber danger. I am the rearranger.
Damn it. Okay, that wasn't the right.
Back to the heavyweight jam! Hardcore! Hardcore!
But is it?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Luckyerski, materialski.
Damn it. That was wrong too.
Victor, true, hard, full, car! Hardcore! Yeah!
The track still doesn't sound all that hardcore to me.
Spinning out lyrics since the day I was born. And the amount of lyrics I got is against the law.
Damn it.
Vic, true, hard, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
Alright.
Here comes the night!
Damn it. Alright, trying new
Vic,
paths.
true, hard, foot, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent.
I was wondering if you knew anything. If you knew who killed the mercenary.
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yakokata, the place to be!
What is this Yoko Kata?
Yakokata is a hardcore place! Vic, true, hard, full, car! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right!
Please tell me what you are doing.
Gotta get the people going!
I see.
Yeah, request. I want everybody as close to the stage as possible.
He's just literally stuck in MC mode. Wait, I think I was almost there.
We're close.
True, hard, full, car! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah! Gotta get the people going!
Why?
I'm the party boy. It's my job.
I think I'm also a party boy.
2 on the track!
Damn
Watch your back! Watch out for the heart attack!
No, wait. I think we can
We're
do this.
close.
Might want to heal some around. He's saying we're close. I think that, like, his dialogue is changing.
True, hard, full, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right!
What are you doing?
Yeah! Gotta get the people going!
Why?
I'm the party boy. It's my job.
What is a party boy?
Hardcore party 25/7 beyond the winter's orbit style!
What the fuck does that mean? Damn it, so that was the wrong thread
We're
too.
close.
True, hard, full, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
So hardcore.
Is it though?
New thread, new thread. It is.
But is it? I mean, really?
The question is, what is the question?
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
The ticket is to flip it on him. So if you start saying what he's saying, he'll start saying what your options were. Because I had the option to say, I'm a bit worried it isn't. Is that it? Is that really how you're supposed to solve it? I think that, like, there is actually logic behind what I just did. Wait, what does it say? Oh, wrong. I need done. There has to be some way to talk to this person. It's just a maze. Yeah, it's just a verbal maze.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
You said you were worried. What do you think is wrong with the music?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore.
He turns pensive all of a sudden.
Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last month, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51.
Isn't something holding it back from being hyper?
He thinks for a moment, then his expression clears.
It's like it's only ultra.
But not hardcore.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
It's only ultra.
It is, isn't it? I knew it. But how could it become harder core? I know the answer in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hyper, how could anything be?
Wait, I just remembered I'm a cop. Sounds suspiciously like a question. I thought the question was, what is the question?
No! This is the answer!
Try to think if anything could make it harder core.
What? Guys, there's something happening in his head.
As your mind works, the beat recedes from your ears. You hear your own blood pulsing through your head, nourishing your thoughts with oxygen. The rhythm is familiar. The abstract shapes swelling in the foreground have done so in vain. This is a core matter. The answer in the double kick that moves the milliliters through your mind. The dark thud is the source of all rhythm, the inspiration behind mathematics.
The heartbeat is the source of all rhythm. That's a cool line. I never got that.
The hardcore.
The heart is the hardcore.
Oh yeah! He's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason.
My imagination fails me.
I know! So does mine!
He laughs and shakes his head.
But there's something else that hasn't failed you.
Wait, I just remembered something. I'm police.
Uh-huh.
I have a job to do. Nothing, that's not gonna help us.
Oh.
I can't help you with this right now. I need something else, something more, something extra.
Yeah!
Coach Fizz has got this, though. Are you reading my thoughts?
No nation, but transnation! No war, but class war!
Does that mean you're reading my thoughts?
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later one of them will come off as fault reading.
It's just that he blasts out so many ideas. Eventually, one of them will be something that was in your head at some point.
Yeah! Revolution imperative!
Unless you were thinking Revolution imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with eggs yelling. I know what you mean.
But I was thinking that.
That's fucked up, man. Lying like that.
Come on.
And a cop too.
Tell me something else, Egg.
Yeah!
Why are there lungs on your belt buckle?
Lungs are for love!
Why would lungs be for love, not a heart?
When Dolores Day was anointed innocence, her lungs started glowing through her body. For the world loved her, and she loved it back. Yeah!
He's spouting out some essentially like religious thing and then going, yeah! Really?
I think so.
Thank you for the story.
Rhymes that keep their secrets will unfold behind the clouds.
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus
so
where
simply.
it should land. So does every chord animal.
Needs more bass.
What?
And a melody. A good melody is what makes the song really stick. So you can't get it out of your head anymore. It's gotta stick in your head, it's gotta have a bass, it's gotta have repetition.
Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from?
I don't know, I was thinking you would know.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just a party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
I'll make it an official, in an official capacity. It's up to the police to make the beats go harder.
The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile, as if it could hinder your investigation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Fan 8's jam.
Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea.
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons blowing in the wind.
Rue de Saint-Gislain, I've been there.
Oh, I know! I know this! I can tell you where it is!
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags and the industrial harbour. It's got the lanterns and the...
I knew that! I could have said that!
and the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now. Anyway.
It feels cold.
Does it?
Shake off the shivers. So that was a hint. I think a reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches. A hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain.
Anyway, that's all.
Copman!
Copman! I have a tape on me right now. Ooh, not that one. Well, wait. I have two tapes. One of them is...
Tape! Yeah! Spins the tape until the space escape! Yeah!
What about this one?
Righteous! No! No, can't do! This is gonna make people sad! This isn't sadcore!
I don't want to give him the Door Gunner Mega Mix. That's evidence right now.
Yeah!
Alright, bye, Egghead.
Alright! Here comes the night!
It's only 4 o'clock. So we figured out Egg.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look.
Got bad news for you, Andre. Things just aren't adding up for this cop.
What things?
Your girl's cell is high as a kite out there. It must have been hard for you boys to keep sober for this meeting.
We don't need drugs to be hardcore!
Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Maybe not today, Egg, but you need drugs to get through the days when you're not expecting me. No, let's just go right to it. Bottom line is, I know.
What exactly is it you know?
This isn't the makings of a club, it's a tent full of lab equipment for manufacturing drugs.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Where's the speaker's friend? Did he lose his friend?
What do you mean, friend?
The other speaker, you only have one goddamn speaker.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
You have no headphones. Wouldn't a cell need her headphones to spin tape?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
The nosophed here is probably the active ingredient.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
You have distilled water, which is usually for lab work.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
There's ether in the air, useful solvent, good for getting acting agent out of a solution.
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether.
Do you really want me to continue?
No shit.
In short, you tried to use a police detective to set up a drug lab.
That's... Come on, that's...
Preposterous?
I meant to say, not true.
So, what are we gonna do now?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
You tell me what's really going on and we'll work from there.
What do you mean by lenient?
Not calling back up and hauling you off?
Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revachol.
Because we do! We totally do!
We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
To get our foot in the door.
Why did you need me?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
They're not really spooky though, are they?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too! I couldn't feel the love at all!
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
This is it. Judgment time.
This is the right answer. Let's do this clean. No lab, just the club.
Yeah!
See? It makes Egg happy. That's what makes me happy.
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop
See?
has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance.
What did you mean about the fish?
There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time.
See, Egg's got the right message.
We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice crack underneath you. Outside, the last century waterfront development is crumbling in the wind, a grape-shot row of falling houses. And so is Rue de Saint-Giraud and all the houses on Main Row. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
Anyone feel that?
What?
Nothing, never mind. Let's just call this little incident crime prevention. I've got my eyes on you guys.
Okay. We'll try to do it without the drugs.
I'll try.
We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but. I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
See, and that actually is cool because I'm pretty sure he's like, is that okay, Egg? And Egg is like, yeah, that's what he wanted all along. And Egg, even there, I didn't catch it before. Egg was saying there was no way we were going to get a club off with the drugs happening there. And he's happy to hear now it's just a club.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
I think I can switch out of the logic close now. He looks like such a dork in it. What did I get new here? Oh, right, I wanted to change clothes. Ask her. Oh. Aw.
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
Yeah, I'll help.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
The others told me a story that you went inside the church. What exactly did you see?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
What did the crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
I believe you.
Why?
What would you stand to gain from lying about this?
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know more about your buddies.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
What do you mean? You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
Okay, then how about yourself?
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Alright, maybe we'll just talk later.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
I have, like, no empathy right now to open up. I don't even know if it's worth, like, pumping it at all. That's it for now. Go into the church. Pilsner. Oh, a bunch of these. Probably the homeless guys' stuff, though, but they forget about it. Oh, it's a Revachol beer. Tastes like piss. Not that you would know what piss tastes like, just a guess.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts
Smiling dead
is
guy.
clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
This symbol mean anything?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
Okay, what do you mean by junior delinquency?
For Revachol aussi, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams.
Little jab at him, forgetting. What is suggested of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Your hands are clammy from the sea air. The piece of sticker keeps slipping away.
Kim, can I have the handkerchief? My hands are wet.
The lieutenant hands you a blue handkerchief. He looks a little dismayed when he gets it back crumpled. However, it should be easier to peel the sticker off now.
He looks like just blood. Here you go. It's like, why, man?
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
After the last entry.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Secret task complete. Style the paperwork. Alright, let's go in.
The carving
wait.
on the door. The doors remain unchanged. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black holes and dusty machines.
Whoa.
Then the feeling passes.
That's a hint. That is 100% a hint about the true nature of the doomed commercial area.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum.
That's cool. Oh, conceptualization wanted me to look for something to do for it. But my conceptualization is too low to have ever told me, but I did it anyway. That's what a hidden... Okay.
In the heart of the city.
That makes sense now. I was always wondering what hidden tasks were, because I never really... I don't think I did any tasks by accident before. Ooh, that loaded weird. Should walk, not run. Yeah. I think you can actually get hurt. Did it quick save? Now it has. Don't run in here. Empathy shoes. I need that. I have no empathy right now. Where did they go there? I'll take a hit to perception. Overall, what's my perception at anyway? Yeah, it's 4. It's fine. It's maxed out for what I started with. Frost has drawn flowers in the woods. That sounds cool. A deer. Scarf. Mesca Banger Sits. Pain threshold is something I want to level. Sorry. I'm not doing an Inland Empire run, so Necktie, you can take a break. You'll make it through this story yet.
The
There it
silence
is.
in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing.
Yell as loud as you can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving.
Stomp your feet, clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
What's happening, Kim?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
No. It's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this. Can't hear shit.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
What if I don't want to know what's up there?
The silence, the darkness, they've enveloped you as in a cocoon. You cannot move anymore.
What does failing that do?
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin. Filled with vague shapes of woodwork, the sense of a great height.
Trying to make out something.
There's nothing.
Officer, what are you looking at?
I want to redo that. Oh!
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Wait. Hang on. Let's make a real save. I think I have a shot at that. So for a while I thought I missed my chance to talk to him with that. But what do you actually see if you pass that? I actually want to know right now, so I'll redo that. I'll put on some more perception things, because I think I have one or two things to assist with that. It should be fine. I just gotta walk around the church. Perception. I think I have a couple things, don't I? I have the hat. That was hand-eye coordination. Watch it. That's minus perception, right? Yeah. The hat and the boots are both giving me up. Yeah, because I took off the hat. Or no, I took off the boots for the empathy shoes. Yeah, the rest is all fine. Visual calc. I'm surprised I don't have perception glasses. Okay, let's do this all again. Oh, don't run. do something a little different. Let's look at the...
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Does he actually do it?
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Delorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Encyclopedia and visual calc? I had the 1 glasses for encyclopedia. Where is it? There's encyclopedia.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still,
Haunts me?
and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
What exactly is an innocence?
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit.
A ruler?
More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
Is one in office now?
No, we are alone.
Okay, when did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
What else do I know?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Seren, modern-day Sir La Clé, also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty. Draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed?
Let's avoid the X something. Right.
Exactly. Back out of this corner of your mind by choosing the bottommost option. To hell with this.
To hell with it.
But she was not hell. She is the opposite of that. The wind of paradise, stripping away the covers from the hearts of men. There you stand, below her once more, with your hands on your side, momentarily at a loss as what to do with yourself.
And now, visual. Calculus. I had a... Oh, I'm wearing it. +2. Power of 4. That should be good.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both.
What shattered it?
Unknown.
Who's the older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
What did the motto say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
This used to say afterlife, death. After...
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again.
Cyclical.
This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
Too feminine, really? What's the motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
I like the other one better.
So do I.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
I forgot how pretty this church is. Alright, don't put on those shoes. I want to be perception now. So this and that. Yeah. Yeah, what are my minuses right now? Reaction speed and logic? That's fine. I could put on a shirt for logic, I guess, but I'd rather have this. Or this, but no. Oh. I can put on the scarf though, right? Yeah. Alright. Make a real save again. Do I have multiple skills right now? Yeah, but I can't pump perception anymore. Oh, whoops.
The silence in this
There we go.
part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything? I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Yes. So what's different? Because I was pretty sure I failed it before then, too. What do you even see? If it's not the crab man you're looking for.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
On the ceiling?
Yes. The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away.
Oh, it's just you see him coming.
It's climbing. Climbing down, holding on the beams. It's not a shadow anymore. Becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no. You've lost sight of it. Where did it go? Prepare for an attack.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same. I wonder if it gives me a modifier on something else, though. That if I can...
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
What does he look like? Does he look like any of these? Some people were pointing out a while ago that, like, Half-Light looks like Kuno. Pain threshold? No, he looked like he's, like, holding on to things above him, right? I guess he doesn't look like any of these. Just oversave other saves.
Is that a man? A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That is not the voice I had in my head from before. I like it, though. The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
He sounds so much younger than I thought he would sound.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh.
It got out of hand lately, but
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it.
great, more patronizing. So original. I'm very in touch with my suffering, I'll have you know.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Screenshot that response. Kim's like, well, since we're here anyway, yeah, maybe listen to his advice. The crazy man climbing in the ceiling, yes, listen to him. You know what? He's making some points.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
Electrochem is like, everyone here is crazy. Everyone's telling me not to drink. For some reason, I feel like you have a point.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
It's been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic, and that's a sickness. It's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life. Your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground. Your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive. Your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything is better than this. Even bone-dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit? Quit drinking. What does this give me? Let's see. -2 physical instrument is fine, because we are sky high on that.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
Do you know where the other spooker is?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Wait, so there is another person living here. Viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young.
She dresses like a
Or
grandma.
maybe
Little
not
grandma.
that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Oh, come on, man. And you don't know where she is right now?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
Nothing else? What does she look like? What's she doing here? Who she is?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
So, you're the crab guy they were talking about.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
To be fair, you really move around more like a spider.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
What were you before you became Crabman?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
I lost my memory too, but I like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me. Start over, you know?
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over the conversation.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Are these yours?
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
The Mother of Silence, by the way, you mean her?
No, no, no. There's a new god in town. And she can't be painted or sculpted because she has no limb
The Pale.
or even a face.
Got it. He's worshipping
She
the Pale.
is the end. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
Well, he's throwing his whole body into it. Sounds like. What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
Are you sure you didn't just end up switching one drug for another new drug?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
I guess you have a point.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
I still don't
know it will take time.
really understand
sweat
what
it.
he's doing.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
It doesn't really make sense for you to sing if she's the Mother of Silence.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
You know, spiders are pretty quiet too, though. How did you even find this place? How'd you get here?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, way. It didn't belong to me.
I'm wondering if he was just working on stuff up on the top of the church and fell into the pocket of Pale or something. Okay, I had other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here such a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
I actually came in here to ask you. Some ravers wanted to turn the place into a nightclub. Would you be okay with that?
The ones in the tent outside? Right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Should they be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, talking about this gang pass.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
So what do you think about a nightclub?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
All right then, I'll let him know. Oh, I made a new save again. I shouldn't. I think I have so many. Cause like I even have some of my old saves in here, don't I? Yeah, there's like the end of the game from before. There's the pigs. Where's like my first save ever? Oh man. What were my stats back then? What did I do? I am actually, like, I just saved, right? I want to actually look what my... Let's go back to the first time I ever played the game, and I want to see what I started with. I know I did more int and psych, but how low did I let the other stats get? I have a feeling I was a lot more averaged out. Five, 1, 2, 4. So I've never done a psych run then. No wonder I remember passing more stuff on Motorix. This is a weird first time character sheet. I'm gonna screenshot it just to remember now. So 5, 1, 2, 4, and now I am doing... I feel like I've more aggressively saved this time. I think I'll go for a few more, like an hour or two more. Getting kind of hungry. So it was 5, 1, 2, 4, and now I am 2, 3, 5, 2. 5, 1, 2, 4. Damn. So it's that, like, I wanted to increase this by the 1. So next time, I think I want to do, like, a 5 in Motorix. 2, 2. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3. Well, 5, 2, 2, 3, but just moved around. I like that better. I don't want a 1. Although if I really wanted to do a 1, it'd probably be an intellect. So how about 1, 4. So that's 5. 5, 2. Yeah. 1, 4, 5, 2. Or 1, 4, 2, 5 will be my next, I think. I'm probably not going to stream it, though. Unless there'd be, like, demand for it. But, I mean... looks at empty chat. I don't think there's demand. I'll enjoy another run quietly on my own.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
A radio computer. And it's turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yeah, but what about this thing?
A radio computer. We have one down at the station. No, I don't know how to operate it or what it's used for. Let's go.
Let me just investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
Okay, we'll wait. What did I finish?
Fairweather,
oh, the armor.
T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like Maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T-500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
I don't even know what thoughts I'm gonna have left to get. Probably hardcore. Maybe. What am I low in right now? Reaction speed, got it. What is giving me negative reaction? Pants. Savoir faire. No, I want this on too, though. Now we're all pluses except logic. Yeah, I could probably do. There, now we're all pluses. So at least I am at the starting point. Yeah. Let's rock it like this for now. I know, like, kind of min-maxing it might be better to hear more from other voices, but I kind of want to hear more. I'm feeling like I'm not hearing a lot from certain voices right now. And I'm like, oh, well, it's probably because I'm lowering a bunch of them. Let's go check on the other traps.
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds, another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place. Behind you, a ruined residential building looms over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. They rustle confidently, in tune with the pitter-patter of the rain. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant?
Always up for a good job. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
Because he complained about the running earlier on. I think that's a nice running gag between them. I'll bet you I only get that dialogue option if I'm still running around with him. I've been trying to walk a little more to help him out. let's talk to the hobos again. Doom Spiral.
Tequila Sunset.
Oh no. I thought he would have a dialogue about something else. Did
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum.
No, I'll do it at night when I'm on my own.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Some tufts have been crushed. The broken stalks seem like a rebuke. The sound of the city hums in the east. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done.
Getting tired?
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
Let's go, Kim. Gotta dial back. Check the original area. I know you can do it. Oh. Oh, bird.
This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake in the lazily falling rain. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
It's empty.
Your voice echoes on the coast, carried by a gust of cold wind.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
I do get the feeling someone or something may have messed with the trap.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
They still need to know, though.
Okay, but after that we get back to our own assignments. There is no justification for this detour at this point of our investigation. We have a lot of work to do back in town.
dude's actually ahead of me on the Jam Rock Shuffle. Wait a second. No, what am I looking for? When they asked for a tape, Shivers told me like somewhere on Rue de Saint Ghislain. Well, anyway, I have to stop by here. Back by the whirling.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
Shopkeep, this Stereo 8 approved machine here.
Is the Harmon Waushi W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Any chance for a special policeman discount?
A discount? I do have to keep the lights on, man. It's 12 real.
A man like that in a neighborhood like this, in a rickety house falling into the sea, there's fear in him. Use it to your advantage.
How does 10 sound?
Sounds like a rip-off, but okay. I can make it 10, but no lower.
Thanks for the discount, man.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes. Hello again. How can I help you?
No, he doesn't seem to have anything else.
All the old boombox. You see Rose, try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back.
No. Inland, you're supposed to be keeping me away from her. Ugh.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
Was that at the very end? Silence?
End of recording.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
He did Yeah, he also sounded inebriated.
Still.
Who's Cordy?
One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of his?
And what's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
Alright, what now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony. At least to some degree.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a Friday night. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to that. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad.
Mega sad, huh?
Within seconds you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to that Claudia told you about. Perform it. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
I think I could sing it.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times. Yup, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
Nothing can stop me now.
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He doesn't say anything. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk. No, wait. Connect me to the public library first. I want a name first.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to the librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
I'm looking for any information that you can provide on Billy Magin, a reader.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Do you have any other information for me?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
You know somebody who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day. Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
So Billy is a woman, not a man? How did your colleague know it was her husband? Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looks like?
Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Thank you anyway, that's all. I have no more questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me?
I do need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified, middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk, hit his head against the metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, seems like an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. Found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Legine.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking this case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Done for now.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you
Yeah, she's still up there. Where can I find a tape? For A. Shivers gave me the hint it would be somewhere along the road.
there. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right?
What?
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Wait, what did I crack?
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is.
The missing husband.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't Misinda?
This doesn't add up.
Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case and not brood over your reputation. We can deal with the perception management later.
I don't know what this thought is.
There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell...
That's... What did I just do?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
This is gonna get rough. Facts. Empathy go up, please. It's rough otherwise. It's probably one of the most depressing things you can actually do in this game. It sucks so much more, even in in a fictional story, even for it to just be an accident. It's just more depressing. Oh boy.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allons, yo? The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard.
Wait, hang on a sec. I can take off the stupid hat. Okay, now we at least look somewhat more respectable. It's like, I shouldn't have a stupid hat on.
A weathered brown door. Something smells good. The lieutenant, this is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard.
Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door and some folk music playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
Do you have any advice on how to tell her he's...
Dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
That's so real.
Good advice.
Alright.
The lieutenant motions towards the door. And someone turns down the radio.
Is this Billy Méjean's home? This is the police? Please open the door. You hear shuffling inside.
Tidying up, nervously. There's fear in her voice.
I might not read out as much during this. Yes. Pick up bottles, be Hobocop. Let's do the video game thing. Let me just jam around. The idea of like the ticking is making you nervous, and it's like just some cute kid's clock.
It's you from the book stand.
She just looks at you for a moment without knowing what to do.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Thanks, I'm alright.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops. Her eyes are trying to read answers from your face.
No, this is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it?
It's like ripping off a bandage. The least painful way is to do it straight away, without stalling.
You live here with Victor, your husband, right?
It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie.
How old are your daughters?
Jolie is 16 and Jenny is turning 18 next month.
And where's your family right now?
The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is out.
Out where?
He has a problem with drinking, and so he disappears every now and then. He's probably in the parks drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came up.
She smiles sourly. To your knowledge, did he make it to the library?
No, I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home. It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days.
I hate having, like, I want to just tell her, but it's like, technically you should confirm before you know, like, I mean, it's pretty obvious by now. What was the name of the library?
Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayrow Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayrow.
It is.
What was he supposed to do in the library?
Just to return a book of mine. Why? Why all those questions, Detective? Did he...
Do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope.
Was it the Glinting Curve by Theobald?
Yes.
Do you remember what he was wearing when you last saw him?
His old leather jacket.
Can you describe it?
It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so...
No distinctive features?
No, well, the lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter.
There's something else I have to tell you.
She folds her hands across her chest. Here it comes.
Yeah, that helped.
You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Mojan, was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
The delivery of that line. And like the way they write it. Your husband is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Oh.
Eyes pale like pearls in seawater.
Oh. But he was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, man.
What happened to him?
It's early to say, but at first glance it seems like he slipped and hit his head.
Was he drunk?
We don't know, but we will let you know when the results arrive.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
It's hard to say at this point.
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress.
Here.
The lieutenant takes out his handkerchief and offers it to the woman. She nods and slowly wipes away her tears. Is there anyone we could call for you? Friend, a family member, someone who could be here?
No, no. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
No, take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am.
We should step outside and talk.
I'm probably gonna end it after this. Ending on another happy note here. Just after I do these emotionally heavy things, I always have to take a break. It's always like, yeah, sure, it's a game, but it's like, you imagine yourself trying to do the same thing. I wouldn't be able to do it, man. I would have chickened out.
You did well.
What now?
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased.
What about her and her kids?
They'll manage.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done.
Let's close then.
Let's go.
I think that is still the roughest part of the game. It's too real. Okay. Pick up the stream again maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Trying to figure out some kind of a better pace schedule. See you, streams.